Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we're talking about the all-new Bath & Body Works Twisted Traditions Holiday Pickle Ornament. You heard that right, there is going to be a pickle fragrance. Now, I know it's Friday, and that's typically when I do my fall project Use It Up update, and that will still be going up. I just wanted to get this video up as quickly as possible as I just got those set notes in, and I wanted to share it with you all. Now, that being said, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We do all things body care on my channel, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And without further ado, let's dive right on into this video. All right, you guys, I'm going to sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. The image and the information source for this video is coming from Bath & Bucks. Bath & Bucks is one of the best Instagram accounts if you're really into Bath & Body Works, and I believe Victoria's Secret as well, body care spoilers. Not only are their images super clear, they usually have a fun little border, and I love reading their caption with their images. And another great thing about their images and posts is that it usually includes both the front and the back of the packaging. So not only will you get a pretty good idea of what the packaging looks like, you also get a good idea of what the scent notes and if there's any additional scent stories on the image as well. As always, I will have a link to the Bath & Bucks Instagram account in my description box. Make sure to check them out. I follow them. They are absolutely amazing. Now, let's get into this actual fragrance. We're going to start with the packaging. Now, the packaging, I'm actually a big fan of. If you know me, I really like anything green, blue, or purple, and I don't believe we've seen this color green in anything besides maybe Poolside Cabana from a couple of years ago. I think we've gotten this green in maybe Waikiki Beach Coconut iterations a couple years ago, but in terms of just the normal signature collection that's around year round, in the majority of the fragrances that we get, I don't really see them ever coming out in green, so this was a fun twist. And also, if it's going to be a holiday pickle ornament, I feel like the green is very fitting. Now, if you also know me, you also know that I really prefer graphics rather than realistic images. When I say realistic images, I mean things like, if you're familiar with the the fall traditions from a couple of years ago that really just basically took like an image of a fall landscape or pumpkins or etc. for the why do I keep saying holiday? For the fall traditions. That was not really my vibe. I definitely like graphics, and this is a very graphic display. It seems like you have snowflakes. I want to say you have different kinds of stars. You have candy canes. You obviously have ornaments, and then you have the holiday pickle ornament as well. I think this is fun. It's cutesy. It almost reminds me of like stickers, like you just put stickers on the packaging. It gives a very 80s holiday, almost like tacky Christmas feel, which is very nostalgic for me, and I absolutely love. And plus, I think the color scheme is actually really cohesive for the amount of graphics they have on here. I love that the pink ornament matches the pink font at the bottom. You have this almost baby Tiffany blue border at the bottom to really house the label as well. And I like that it's at the bottom, so you get to really enjoy just the overall packaging without all the text being right in the middle. I think that's a nice touch. Now, moving on from the packaging, we're going to dive into the actual fragrance notes. And I've also pulled a couple of things that, although they won't be similar, they do have kind of a similar vibe, or at least their name has something similar to the holiday pickle ornament. Now, the holiday pickle ornament is a part of a broader collection. That collection is going to be the Twisted Traditions collection. As of right now, we do have awareness on one other Twisted Traditions, and if you are interested in that fragrance, I will be doing a video on that tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. That being said, the holiday pickle ornament Bath & Body Works Twisted Traditions fragrance includes scent notes of brined botanicals, crisp cucumber, and saltwater. So you guys, I really do think this is going to be a pickle themed fragrance. Now, I get with Bath & Body Works is trying to do a couple of different strategies here and there, but this did remind me of something that they tried earlier this year, which I'm not exactly sure if it was a roaring success, and that was Off the Vine. So this vibe really reminded me of the Off the Vine Tomato Girl Summer. It was an odd collection. I feel like it got a lot of social media traction. It got a lot of people in the store and talking, but I'm not exactly sure how the sales did on that one. Off the Vine, if you're unfamiliar, that one really won the award for packaging for me. I think it has one of the most stunning packagings we've seen from Bath & Body Works in a long time, but unfortunately, the fragrance itself was just not uber wearable in my opinion. That one had notes of heirloom tomato, garden geranium, and Mediterranean moss. It was an interesting fragrance. It was very different than anything in the lineup. It truly smelled like the dirt that you would grow tomatoes out of, or like if you picked a tomato that wasn't ripe yet and you just like turned it into a fragrance. It truly did smell like that. So it was different. It was a different direction. The actual success of it though, I feel like that's to be determined. I'm not 100% sure. And that's really kind of what I thought of, that whole tomato girl summer type of vibe with this sort of Twisted Traditions collection. Now, that being said, they also did include a little bit of a backstory on the tradition itself. And I think this is my favorite part of the fragrance. I feel like at Bath & Body Works lately, we've been missing a lot of the story and the storytelling and the development of the fragrance beyond just the notes, and they did a really phenomenal job with that here. I also thought it was really cool to hear about a tradition that I'm unfamiliar with. It said, hide the holiday pickle ornament in the tree and let the hunt begin. The first to spot the pickle starts the gift opening fun and is granted a year of merry good fortune. This delightful tradition brings a dash of jolly holiday competition to the season and memories you'll relish for years to come. So I thought it was fun to learn about a tradition, one I'm not familiar with. I think it really just boosted the overall story of the fragrance, so I really enjoyed that. I am not someone who partakes in this tradition, so if you are someone that does, I'd love to hear more about it in the comments down below, but I really enjoyed that part of the fragrance, really story and backing and set notes that I feel like we've just been missing out on lately. Now, that being said, again, the notes are brine botanicals, crisp cucumber, and saltwater, and I wanted to pull some other current and past Bath & Body Works fragrances that either had a saltwater note, saltwater in the name, and same thing with cucumber. So the first one I pulled was Saltwater Breeze. Now, I believe Saltwater Breeze came out with things such as Emerald Mist. I want to say Amethyst Waves. I'm not 100% sure if it's Waves, but I think it was an amethyst fragrance. But Saltwater Breeze has notes of fresh linen, violet leaves, water blossom, and light musk. So not a saltwater note, but it did have saltwater in the name. So wanted to include that one. Another one that did actually have salty air in the fragrance itself was Sea Salt Coast. I think Sea Salt Coast was a part of the fragrance collection with the Midnight Citrus, I think was a part of that entire collection, and maybe Cactus Blossom and Sensual Amber, or unless I'm thinking of an entirely different collection, I think that was all part of the same collection. It came out as a group of 4 or a quad. Sea Salt Coast had notes of salty air, water lotus, and sandalwood shores. So that one actually did have a salt component to it. So I wanted to bring that one up. And then the last one I wanted to bring up, which I'm sure you guys know when I said cucumber melon. Cucumber melon has notes of crisp cucumber, watery honeydew, summer cantaloupe, sparkling grapefruit, and sheer woods. So the cucumber melon and the Bath & Body Works holiday pickle ornament actually do share that crisp cucumber note. So I'm curious to see if this is almost in a way a cucumber melon flanker, taking it more of a pickle direction rather than a melon watery direction. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting to call out. Another thing with this one is I'm not exactly sure the true intention of a fragrance like this. Is it really just to bring people in the store? Is it for people to actually buy it? Did they make a lot of it? Are they just going to do it for like body care day or SAS to kind of get people into the store? I'm not 100% sure on the strategy and the intention behind this one. So I feel like missing that piece of evidence and missing that piece of information, I'm not able to really go well-rounded into, common questions that we might have about a fragrance that I'd probably go into with something like a Toast to You. I already talked about the longevity, the past New Year's Eve fragrances, what we kind of see this fragrance as it fits into the holiday collections, but isn't. I'm not really able to do that with something like this because I just am unsure of the intentions behind it. But you guys, that wraps up the Bath & Body Works Twisted Traditions Holiday Pickle Ornament Fragrance. As I said, I'll be still doing my Project Use It Up update, so if you're looking for that, stay tuned. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think this is an interesting one. Definitely weird, definitely a different direction than what we're used to seeing, which I feel like is what a couple of us have asked before. Out of everything, I think my favorite is going to be one, including the actual tradition to an extent on the back of the bottle. That felt grounded, intentional, and I really enjoyed reading about a different tradition and the story. So absolutely love that. And 2, I actually think the packaging is quite nice. nice. It's fun. I think it looks classy, but still almost like this tacky Christmas vibe. It's very appropriate for the holidays. I actually really enjoyed the packaging. Things I'm not too keen on. I'm not 100% sure on the actual fragrance. That one's going to be an interesting one. So I feel like that's a big question mark. We don't have any pricing information on right now, I would assume that it's going to be on the lower end of things. So we're going to see things like the body lotion and the body wash, maybe that $14.95, $15.95. And I don't think they would make a mist or a fine fragrance, a mist or a body cream past the coupon limit. I'm also interested to see if this is just the mist, as all the images I've seen are just the mist. So that could very well be the case as well. But that is all the information I have on it as of now. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.